Hello, hello, hello. Mic check, mic check. Welcome to No Life Digital Podcast. Hello, everyone. Looks like my mic is kind of low here. How am I sounding? Are we sounding good? Coming through good? Mic check. Welcome to No Life Podcast. No music. We're jumping in. So, what's going on, everyone? We got some news for you today. We're going to talk about the death of Madden. It seems as if Madden may finally be dying. Then we're going to jump into some news. We're going to talk about Ubisoft, what's going on over there, how everyone is fed up with Madden, and that's pretty much it. More games getting Call of Duty coming out at $70. And then for tech, big news. RTX got its release. Jensen came out. His name's Jensen, right? Or is that AMD? No, it is Jensen.
Yeah, it's Jensen.
Jensen came out. He's in front of his beautiful fucking kitchen talking about RTX. I'm excited for it.
Bring shit out of his oven
Yeah,
5 months later.
The BF GPU.
Boy, howdy. I hope y'all didn't upgrade your computers in this month.
I did.
Yeah.
No, I didn't this month. I did a couple of months ago because I don't care that
Just
much
imagine
anymore.
right now, like 2 days ago, somebody's just like, yeah, I'm going to get the 2080 Ti. I want to
no.
build a
That's
system.
a good point. Let's see how much a 2080 Ti is right now. Or just,
Oh, they're
it's
gonna
gonna drop in
tank.
price now.
Yeah, they better do.
They just announced better cards for cheaper price.
well, if you were to buy from Adorama an EVGA top tier like
Which,
aftermarket,
by the
is
way, can I just
1200
point
still.
out? No, don't buy it from Adorama. What?
Yeah.
What? Don't get me wrong. I love my B&H. I love my Adorama. Don't buy computer shit from them. They're always overpriced. Sorry, just disclaimer.
Yeah, let's see what else we got here.
Like go to like Micro Center or Newegg or something that will actually put sales on
Yeah,
for
let's see.
parts newer than 2 years old.
I mean, this one's out of stock. It's out of stock at Micro Center, but it's like still $1,200. They'll probably drop a little bit more. So if you were to be buying one like in the last week or so, you probably paid like a good amount of money, which you're going to see a substantial decrease in that price in the next couple of weeks because these cards are no joke. They're definitely pretty powerful. So
And
I
then you
decided
still
to go
gotta
on
wait for
Amazon.
AMD too.
I decided to go on Amazon and just check. Yeah, you can get a 1080 Ti for $1,000
really, still,
on Amazon. Yeah.
It's
Oh
because
my Lord.
they're mostly gone now. A lot of people when the 2080 Ti was first announced and the 2080 series was first announced, people went on a fucking run for 1080 Ti's because they were like $400.
yeah.
And it was like, oh, so this is literally better just without RTX for cheaper. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a 1080 Ti
Yeah.
Ti's because they were like 400.
Oops, sorry guys. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about that, and then there's some GoPro stuff. There might be some extra camera stuff that we can get into, and then
Rumors and panic hammer tomorrow and blah blah blah.
Oh,
Who
right.
cares?
right,
2080 Ti from Newegg is $1,900.
yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
You want to get a
What?
Titan too while we're at it?
A 2080 Ti should be like 1200,
Yeah,
not 19.
Newegg's got it for 19.
yeah. Sometimes they have like some wacky ones. There's always like a
Oh, I know there's
scam.
some wacky ones, but don't.
There's always
just
some
don't buy
wacky
that.
scam ones.
I think that was on sale too.
I need to log into the No Life account. So, real quick, head over to our website, nolife.digital. If you want to subscribe to our podcast, it's on Spotify. I know Spotify is the new hotness. That's actually something that we need to bring up. I didn't put it up in the show notes. But Spotify's up. We're on Apple, iTunes, we're everywhere. Any podcatcher site, you can head over there. Make it easy. Just head over to the website, nolife.digital. Head to the podcast tab. You can listen there, and there's all the subscribe buttons here. You can also head over to our Twitter, @NoLifeDigital. Keep you updated on all the fun stuff that we do there. I've been pretty active on Twitter recently. And that's where most of our updates will be, is right there on the Twitter. No Instagram, no Facebook, nothing like that. Just Twitter. All right. So, have you guys been playing anything new recently?
I haven't been able to play it yet, but Crusader Kings 3. I'm excited.
Is it not out, or is it out?
No, it just came out today,
Oh,
so
nice.
I've been busy today. I haven't had time to play it yet.
Yeah.
But I am
And-
excited.
What game?
Crusader Kings 3, dude.
Oh,
The
don't know
map
anything
game.
about
I
it.
love Paradox map games. I hate paying for Paradox map
All-
games.
all
But
I've
this
seen
one seems
is-
amazing.
All I've seen some people say is that they never buy Paradox games when they launch because they're always bugged to hell.
And that's why this one seems really interesting, because most of the reviews make this seem like this is the best Paradox launch in probably 5 years. So that's why I'm like, I'm very excited now, because I agree. Usually, like, Imperator Rome is the shining example at the moment of, like, it's still considered the worst game in the franchise, but in 2 years, who fucking knows what's going to happen to it? Because Paradox and map games like this are the absolute kings of, hey, we're going to launch a $60 game and we're going to launch about $300 worth of DLC to make the game work.
I don't know what this is. I'm not familiar with this.
Okay, so
Paradox stuff.
it's the newest version. So Crusader Kings 2 is pretty big.
I've heard
and
of the game, but I haven't.
right, Crusaders King 2 got a lot more popular around the time of Game of Thrones, because there's a really good Game of Thrones mod for it.
Mm-hmm.
So you could actually like
Is it
role
like a
play
Civ
out
type
Game of
game?
Thrones. But okay, so it's a map game. So you take over control normally in a map game for like the style like Hoi 4 or Hearts Iron 4, that series, or CK, like, well, CK is different, but Europa Versalis, you usually take over a country and you're controlling a country, trying to manage politics, money, war, basically, and just trying to make a big country. You're just trying to paint the map, basically, is the meme. Like, that's the goal of these games usually, is like, hey, I'm going to start with the country and I'm going to try to paint the map and completely like remake the Roman Empire, basically.
Yeah.
Crusader Kings is a slightly different in that, and it's still that kind of idea, but instead of taking over a country, you take over a specific character or dynasty line. So you choose, instead of like being England, you can choose to be anywhere from the King of England and that dynasty royal family to like, yeah, dude, I'm the county commissioner of Sussex.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of different
IGN
variations
gave it
there.
a 10 out of 10.
No, it like for this style of game, they seem to be knocking it out of the park. So I'm very excited.
I'm gonna have to
But yeah.
check this out. This looks pretty interesting.
No, like it is a very slow map game, but they seem to have made it a lot prettier, and they've also seemed to have made it a lot more interactive and beginner friendly, because that was always one of the harder parts about these games, is like,
So many different systems. I mean, that's
well,
why I
there's-
don't play
yes.
Civ. I've never played it, so it's just like too much for me to.
oh, and this is way
More
way
advanced.
more than Civ, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, or at least most of them are, but they seem to have made it a lot more interactive and stuff. Like they made some really cool, cute looking like character scenes and stuff for the notifications, because usually on a lot of these games, it's you have a map, you have different modes of seeing your said map and resources, and that's your view, and then sometimes you'll get a little pop-up. But now at least it looks like the little pop-up is at least got a character, and like trying to bring more new people in, of like trying to explain the game better and actually make it more interesting than just like,
Text.
well, I'm going to paint the world red.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it is getting great reviews. I mean, right here, IGN.
Which
10
makes
out of
me
10,
very
PC
excited,
game.
because the last game, like Imperator Rome, was like a 4 out of 10
Yeah.
to launch.
All right, cool. Let us know how this one goes.
Yeah, no, I will definitely.
Well, at
But
least you're
before
excited.
that, I was just getting back into Oxygen Not Included. And that's a fun game if you've never played that and you like the rim world management style games I like.
I've been on the I have some footage here, so I'll put it up. Nothing too crazy, but I've been on the EA Sports train recently. I've been playing UFC 4, which I'm gonna do a little review next week on. I
Is that
actually
the
do
new
like
one?
that. Yeah, it's the newest one. I actually do like it a lot. I think it's the best UFC game they released. It's still
Okay.
like you know, it's not perfect, but it is a great UFC game, and the way that they tuned in the groundwork and like the wrestling it's way more fun now. The problem is Madden is so bad. It is so bad. I've been playing Madden. I was not gonna buy it. I was like, I'm not buying it. This looks like complete shit.
I'm not buying it because of the fucking cover, dude.
Just everything. I was just like, I am not buying this game. But I didn't have to buy it because I had the EA Play thing on Origin.
Oh, you still had Origin or whatever?
Yeah, so I was able to just download it on PC. So I was like, well, now since I could just download it, I might as well fucking download it. And it's like a legit straight up clone of the last version, except worse because now there's a bunch of glitches going on and they added some new mode, the Yard, which is what I have the footage of here. So I'm going to put that up. And the Yard is pretty cool. It's almost like an NFL Blitz and like an NFL arcade style gameplay, but it's just like not fleshed out. It's just more ways they can infuse microtransactions. It's fun. I like it. I want them to expand on it more, but this is about all you get that's new in Madden 21. Nothing else is new. So like all the plays are like, they're all the same playbooks. I mean, everything's exactly the same as 20, except now you get an extra little mode. They for sure just want you in MUT mode. They want you opening packs. They want you spending a ton of money. But I think people are finally like, this is enough's enough. Like, you literally added nothing to this game except a more stripped down version of Madden. And I think people are kind of fed up, especially since like a lot of it's just, there's so much like balancing and tweaking that needs to be done. So they nerfed running. So running the ball, you can't just like take you just can't take like a good running back and just fucking juke all over the place and score all the time. They also nerfed, which I think is good, they nerfed zone coverage. So the meta in the last game was essentially you would take control of your linebackers and you would just float in the middle of the field and you're just locking down the middle of the field. So you had to really kind of rely on edges and rely on matchups to get the ball downfield. But now zone is a lot more locked in or a lot more like nerfed. So you have to actually be in the spot if you plan to make any interceptions, and that it's just not what it used to be. So the meta right now is just zone or man-to-man coverage and just having the computer just kind of line up players against each other, which I think is a great balance option. The problem is once you have those matchups that are just not working, it's so easy to get smoked because the computer is just not apt to deal with multiple audibles on top of like an already sort of tweaked out sort of man-to-man coverage system. So they need to kind of rein in a lot of things in that respect. They also just need like a new Madden. Like they need like new shit. They need new animations. They need new sort of physics. It just all feels very, very old and very stale. And it fucking sucks, man. It does suck. If you're a sports fan this year, it looks like sports just all across the board are gonna suck. Luckily, the UFC one is fun, but would I spend $60 on it? I'm not exactly sure. I'm a huge UFC fan, so I guess unless you're a huge UFC fan, it's probably not worth the money. And I don't think most people are gonna really want to play Madden. I'm curious to see how NHL comes out. It just seems like sports games this year. Just
wait until the next gen versions when you're paying $70 for an updated roster and more bugs.
These aren't even coming out for the next gens.
Yeah, next gen. Hopefully we get a brand new EA Sports.
Yeah. Well, no, that would be the hope, is maybe they'll be new then. But I mean, I'm not expecting much for the NHL. I'm going to buy it still, but I'm not expecting.
I'm just saying for Madden, this is what happens when and we'll get into it in the news, but this is what happens when you essentially limit. You just have a monopoly on it. Yeah. There's no competition whatsoever. There's no need for innovation. You just sell it and consumer consumes.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm not even that opposed to that. I'm honestly more.
I
think if you had a 2K or if you had somebody else pushing it with EA, they would be trying to make their games better because you would want to put out the best product available.
Yeah, I definitely think NFL
EA has absolutely gotten super lazy about it.
Yeah, and I think that's what the most frustrating thing is. It's like you have the license, right? So why not like really take advantage of it? And I think the NFL should be way more pressuring on EA Sports to be like, look, the last couple years the ratings on these games are terrible. You guys need to fucking step it up a notch, or we're not gonna lock you in anymore. And then I think that at least then we can kind of get some pressure on them. But this is like the laziest. This is like so close to a mobile fucking game. It's just like a huge slap in the face. It sucks, man. It really sucks.
They sell you a $60 title and they get their money back from the people who wail on Madden Ultimate Team.
Oh yeah.
because microtransactions.
And a lot of them aren't
outlaws
even
that.
doing it this year. Like there's still a few players just because you can get views that way. So a lot of Madden players they'll get views that way. But a lot of them are just they're not even it just sucks, man. It sucks being a Madden fan right now because it's just we're not in a good era. Hopefully the next generation kind of changes that, and then hopefully again they can open that license up and the NFL.
I would love to
what's
see the
going on.
return of arcade style football games. Give me like a new Street.
Well, that's what the yard
Or a
kind
new
of
Blitz.
does. The yard is pretty cool, and I want to see it expanded more because I think it could be cool. Infusing like certain sort of like cosmetic microtransactions if that's how they want to make their money with it. But it is like it's a 6-on-6 man game. It's a lot quicker. It's a lot more about just setting up crazy plays and getting interceptions. It's fun. But like I said, we all want like another NBA Street. You know what I mean? We all want a Blitz, and we're not going to get that with like real players.
I think I put more time into NBA Street Volume 2 on the GameCube as a kid than I have played any sports game. That might actually be my number one played GameCube game.
Yeah, it's so good, man. It's so good.
Volume 2 was
You didn't like Street?
No, well, I mean, I liked it, but I'm different. I'm the hockey person, and that's what Shell is.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think they've ever made
had
an
that.
arcade style hockey game, have they?
No, because it's already really fucking arcadey.
Pretty, yeah.
So like
how are you gonna make a game with hits have bigger hits?
They did that a couple of years ago, and it's still in the
s-
same engine. It looks good. It feels good.
You can give them
it's a little
weapons.
old now.
You can let them use their sticks.
Even if they made that a mode, even if they just made that a
Yeah,
mode.
probably not gonna let him use them as weapons.
I'm just saying.
Well,
even
that's
if-
why
even if that
that's why
wasn't
Blitz was cool because they could fucking body slam someone.
I was saying, even if they don't make that a standalone game, like make that a part of like your Madden, but you've like an arcade style mode.
And
It
like
is. They
that'd be
have
like
they do have modes like that. That's what I'm saying. Is like most of that's built into the game. They have 1-on-1s. They have 3-on-3s that are a lot
No,
more.
I'm talking like over the top,
goofy stuff.
goofy,
Yeah, okay.
ridiculous, just fun. It's just fun. You don't have to think about it. It's just.
I see what you're
fun.
saying though. Like
I mean,
hockey
I get
itself
it,
is
but, like,
kind
that's-
of
that's-
already like that.
Yeah, like that's kind of just like your Shell like pickup game online. That's kind of what it is. It's you're not playing an NHL player there. You make a character. You can make them as dumb or as goofy as you want, and you decorate them.
Yeah.
Like a lot of that is built into the base game.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's like for football, it's like unrealistic hits, crazy plays for
Crazy announcers.
Basketball, it's like unrealistic
Dunks, like crazy
dunks,
backboard dunks.
Yeah. Hockey, I mean,
And a lot of that, well, yeah,
you do crazy unrealistic beats.
And that mode is like super
Like,
popular in NBA 2K. That street
Yeah.
mode, like that's what like all the streamers play, and
No,
it
I
definitely
like
sells.
it. Yeah, it's just that's kind of where hockey already is because it's just like, yeah, dude, deking's a little harder, but they've done better on that. But like a lot of the hits that you see in an NHL video game ain't happening in real life to that level already.
That's
and then the
where I'm
game's
with-
still buggy as shit anyways, so you still have like the goalie flipping people like 10 feet into the air already.
That's kind of where I am with like the sports games. Is like how much more? Like, where's the innovation going to come from? Now you can control the hands of your wide receivers. I don't care. I don't care.
I like
Now as the
opposite
goalie,
side.
you can control all four limbs.
I would be interested in that personally.
I mean, that'd be
I'm a
kind of
different. I've played all of these sports growing up, so that's why I like. Oh yeah, no, that's cool to me because that's like where the skill actually is. So that's why that's interesting to me.
Yeah, I like.
Just gotta get that motion controlled basketball. You know, the flick of how your wrist flicks controls the ball movement.
Like that would be cool to me personally.
Yeah, it was called the Wii.
I mean,
Yeah, bring it back, dude. I'd be fine with that.
I think EA has done like a good job trying to simulate these sports, and I mean, I've always been a big EA Sports fan. It's just it gets so it's time for them to kind of like be reckoned. You know what I mean? It's time for them to get their reckoning so they can get back on the ball. And is that ever going to happen if they control the license and no other? You know what I mean? Like, who cares if you have an NFL Street game if you can't use the real players? You know,
Yeah,
I know
like
I personally
like
don't.
you said, it's going to take enough fan backlash and enough boycotting for the NFL to at least approach them with it. Kind of like how Disney had to approach EA.
Yeah.
EA is the common denominator here. about Star Wars.
Yeah.
EA, like Disney, had to actually go to them and be like, "Hey, we're seeing the negative backlash. Y'all are fucking up. What's going on?"
Yeah. Like they got a good bone system here, you know what I mean? And like I don't mind the MUT mode. Like I think like opening packs is fun. It's just it's time for them to kind of
I
innovate.
mean, everyone loves a good gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. The pull of the lever, right? The MUT mode in this is so bad
No.
already too. It's just not. It's not
Fuck
good,
that.
man. It's not.
Fuck
good.
everything about that. Fuck everything about Hut, Mutt, any of them.
I like him.
What's FIFA's Fut? Like,
Yeah,
fuck
Fut.
them all, dude.
There's Fut, MUT, Hut.
I
Is
wonder if
there
there are
a
streamers who
golf
they
one?
don't even play the game. They just
Yes.
stream them opening packs.
Yes.
Yeah, they
they're-
spend hundreds
yes,
of
that's what we've-
dollars.
Yeah,
Hundreds
they're
and
100.
hundreds.
Yeah, like that's huge in FIFA, and it's absurd to
God,
me,
that
dude.
sounds so boring to watch.
It's like what Critical's been doing lately. He's just been doing Twitch streams of opening Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Really?
Yes, dude.
Some
He's
people like that,
he's
man.
No,
literally-
okay, hold on. I
He's
gotta ask
literally
them. I gotta
bought like
ask-
$5,000 worth of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and he
As
just
someone
sits
who-
there and does
who-
polls, and then sits there with the box open of the values of all of these cards, and
As
keeps
someone
a
who
running
has played
tracker.
Yu-Gi-Oh, does he have a scale?
Why?
No,
did
he
you-
doesn't do it that way.
Foils
Right,
way
he's-
heavier.
No, he doesn't do it that way. He
There
trusts
were
his
people
hands.
that would go.
I
there
know,
would be-
I know.
would
There
be
was
that
people.
They would go
Yeah.
into the stores and literally open the box, like go in the like try to take the box out of Walmart into like an aisle of nothing, and just grab the scale and start weighing packs.
I know. No, I know. I know
Oh,
someone. I know
see, I
someone
see.
who did that. They made a fucking Raspberry Pi scale just to do
You want
that
to talk
bullshit.
pay to win? Man, Yu-Gi-Oh! That shit was pay to win in the day.
Any
But
card
no, the
game
thing
is.
is, too, he doesn't even play the fucking game. He doesn't
no,
play
no,
it.
no.
He has no interest in selling.
I don't
it.
know.
He just
I
bought
don't know much-
$5,000
It's
fucking
literally-
Yu-Gi-Oh
it's
cards.
I don't
Literally
know
a
much
slot
about
machine.
Magic, but I from what I understand of it is that with the rule sets, you can at least have some variety of your deck.
Yeah, but that's not why you do it. You do it because you like the card system.
You just like the gambling.
yeah, you like the
Yeah, I
gambling.
just like the way the
aspect
card
of it.
looks. I don't give a shit what it does.
Yeah, you want the cool like old school cards. You want the fucking Time Walker and shit.
You
like
want that Charizard first edition holographic?
Yeah, yeah. It's nothing to do with the actual game. And like I like the MUT mode just because I like the actual game of it, and I like kind of that. It's like it's just infusing that in a video game, really.
See, well,
I don't
for me,
spend any
that's
money
fa-
on it, but
That's
you know.
fair. I also just don't like it because it's
it's all
just
they
too-
do now. I mean, that's
well,
the
yeah,
problem.
it's gotten to be too big of a game mode because it's a cash cow. But it's also just it's to me that style isn't what I want to play an online game for.
yeah.
And what I mean by that is there is a lot of RNG into Hut or any of those modes of, hey, if you spend a lot more money, your team is suddenly a lot better.
Oh yeah.
And I don't like that level of RNG. If I want to play an online game, I want it to be
even, yeah.
an even balance and just let me beat the shit out of you because I play better.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely an aspect. And really like the only sort of like good online play multiplayer in Madden is in the MUT modes. And like there's no like you don't have like a create a team anymore where you actually can create an actual team and try to, play other tournaments and shit like that. Because that used to be really fun in multiplayer, but that's not how you do it anymore. Now you have to open packs and get the players, and your team's probably going to be level 70 to 80 unless you spend a few $100, and then you're going to get like a few elites, and then you're going to start to get into the tournament stuff. And it is a fun hook and all, but we're at the point now. It's like this has been the same game for 3 years, 4 years now. Nothing has been. We need some newness, and I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I don't mind a yearly sort of roster update, small updates, as long as you don't have to pay for it. So maybe if they roll it into like the EA Play thing, I can see that being all right. You know what I mean? Because once NHL comes out, I'm probably going to pick that up just because it's going to come into that. It's going to come with that package, I think.
I'm gonna
and like,
buy
I'm not
it,
too,
but
I'm not too
I
upset
always-
with that. I think that's not a bad deal. I've actually been pretty happy with the EA Play Origin pass thing. I got my money out of it already,
That's fair. I probably wouldn't, because I'm going to buy the NHL game. But I always do. That's the beauty of sports games. Is hey, this game is going to come out in September, and if I wait till October, it's $30 now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm going to play it all year anyway. So sure, dude. I'm just going to wait a month and buy it half off.
Yeah, I don't even know how much it is. I think it's like $15 a month for the for the game updates, and like this year's been. I'm trying to remember what came out from EA this year alone. I don't know. Maybe it hasn't worked out this year. Did Star Wars come out this year? Or was that last year? I think that was last year, right? All right. Anyways, Madden is a flop. Don't buy it. If you have Origin Pass, then just download it. It's whatever. But many of you probably don't have Origin Pass. All right. Moving on to news. It's a shame Madden sucks. 'Cause I love Madden. I really do. Did you guys see this 8-bit dough arcade stick, Doobie?
I have not, but I
What do you think of it?
Enjoy 8-bit dough product. I'm a big fan of their SFC 30 Pro controller. So this is interesting.
Nice little arcade
yeah,
stick for the
fine.
Switch, which I think is pretty interesting.
And looks like a
PC?
bullshit NES controller.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fine with
I'm
that.
not a big fan of the design itself.
You don't like it?
I like it aesthetically. I don't know about the button placement, but
Yeah,
don't
I like
really
the way
care
that
for
it looks.
aesthetically. I'm not a fan. I was never a big fan of the NES controller. Like I don't have nostalgia for it. So
I think the reason why I'm liking this is I agree with that, but I'm also this is different enough and a little bit more modern enough where this looks more.
Looks like a teenage engineering product.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, I was trying to think of Teenage Engineering.
Yeah.
I was thinking OP
yeah.
whatever.
I mean the button
OP1.
placement. I mean it's an 8-button fight stick. So I mean that's what they all kind of look like, where it curves like that.
Well,
If
no,
your
it's
hand-
partially the
Oh.
curves. A lot of it's literally the
buttons?
extra buttons on top.
Yeah, there's
Like the extra
at the top
buttons on
left.
top
Okay.
are straight up Teenage Engineering.
Yeah, which is pretty
What
cool.
Buttons?
It looks
what
like an
buttons are they
OP1.
using though.
I don't know.
I'm trying to see like. Alright. So it says it can be modded. That's the nice thing, is it can be modded. So you can replace the buttons with buttons you want. So if you want Sanwas, you can replace them with Sanwas.
It comes with
I'm
the
personally a
Sanwas.
fan of Sanwa buttons. I think they're the better button, but some people like different product.
You can get Sanwa, Samitsu Compact, and a larger Samitsu.
Yeah, I know I'm not a super big fan of Samitsu's.
Yeah, so you can get whatever
Um,
you want with it, which is kind of
Yeah,
cool.
it's nice that you can it looks like it's easy to open too, which is nice. That's like because I mean
I don't
a
have an
fight stick
arcade
is-
stick, so I might get one.
Yeah, what a fight stick and arcade stick generally is it's a shell, cutouts for buttons, a PCB board, and a bunch of connectors, right?
Yeah.
So you can like build. I've seen people build literally a fight stick out of a Papa John's pizza box.
Yeah.
It seems like
all
a
you
cheaper
really
one
need-
too.
Yeah.
'Cause aren't they usually more like 150? At
Mhm.
least ones that we talk about.
Depends on who you buy from. Depends on the product you buy. Like my Obsidian was, I believe, 200, but that's also a Quanba. Quanba is usually a pricier brand.
Okay. Well, no, because
8-bit dough is
But that's
known
like
for,
the
their
average
I was
price.
gonna
for a
say
stick.
8-bit dough is like the king of good cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's kind of
let's
what I
see.
want in front of a fight stick. I don't want to spend $200 on one. And this looks
Can
nice.
they make a
nice
flight
enough.
controller?
Why you want to play flight sims? Should we do it,
mean-
dude? Should we fucking get the
Hori-
headsets and play some
Hori
flight
would-
sim?
yeah. I would say horror would be the other like. Essentially, they're like the current Mad Cats.
So I watched one of the best videos from Node the other day, where it was him and Nico, and they were being coached. They were playing Flight Simulator, and they were being coached by a real pilot to do an emergency landing. So they did like some role play where the plane was filled with a bunch of old ladies, and they had to figure out how to land a fucking flying 757, and it was awesome. I was on the
Yo,
edge of my
Microsoft Flight
seat.
That's
Sim?
kind of funny.
Yeah.
Actually,
I do-
Flight Sim's been really cool to check out.
I've been
Yeah,
watching so many
it
Flight
looks
Sim
good.
videos, man. I kind of want to set one up.
I do love that also Microsoft sent it to like enough people that you have good serious videos and then an entire section of YouTube that the day the game came out was just like, hey, here's me flying into my old house.
Yeah.
I saw that video like 50 times.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool. I kind of want to get into it. I kind of wish they would do like a VR thing too. I feel like this lends itself perfectly to VR. But yeah, I've been watching flight sim videos for like the past few days. I think I might try to get into it. But see, my racing sim addiction got too great last time I was in it. I'm afraid if I get into flight sim, the amount of fucking money you can spend with like just random flicks and buttons and Oh god, it gets insane.
Yeah, I don't think you can afford that. You already bought a camera.
I know, man. I can't get into another fucking
Like that's
stupid
always
hobby.
been my problem with Sims is I really do like racing sims and flight sims, but it's like some of the pricing of some of the accessories is like,
Yeah.
all right, so I can either buy a fake car to sit in my room, or for the same price I can buy a Honda Civic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
as
can
far as
actually buy a
insane.
real car for this price.
And it
Oh
only gets
shit,
worse
dude.
because like you can get like a good racing sim setup for like $500. You get the chair, you get the shifter, good pedals, a good racing wheel. But then it only makes you want to go deeper because then you can get a real like good force feedback racing wheel, real force feedback pedals. But then you're gonna need a real chassis to fit it all. Then you're
Right,
gonna need the rumble pack.
you need an actual fake car. Then you got to spend $800 on the chair.
Yes.
Then you need to get the 3-point harness. Like, you're getting to the point where it's like, well, I could invest this, or I could just actually build a car.
Or
again.
just drive. Or I can just drive myself. It's so fucking funny. But then you can do it with planes. You know what I mean? Like, and flight sim looks
Well,
really
that's
good.
true,
this
but
year.
I'm not. That's an easier one for me to get into. It's like, well, okay, I could spend $3,000 on a fake plane, but I can't buy a real plane for $3,000.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good way to put it. Actually,
With cars, I could easily spend $3,000 on a car sim, but then I'm just gonna be sitting like, I could have just bought a beat up Honda Civic and dropped an engine in it, and
Yeah,
like fucking
take it
take
to
it
the
to a track.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
that's a good point. You can't just hop in a 757.
the last thing I'll say about this 8-bit though is that it's wireless. That's a pro. It can be easily used on PC as well. You can map buttons and create profiles with dedicated macros.
How does it attach to the table? That's a good question. I don't really know. I don't
It looked
see
like
any
it didn't really attach to the table. It looked like it was a keyboard stand on the back.
Yeah, it might just have like rubber feet.
Yeah.
I don't see a bottom piece. I'll look it up on the site. I'll see if I can show it. Go ahead, do we continue? Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, I like the fact that you can that this is Bluetooth. There's not a lot of wireless fight sticks out there.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really any that I can think of.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't. If I'm gonna
Unless
get
you
something
mod
like
it
this,
yourself to do that.
I'm not playing for. I'm not trying to be, the next. I don't know.
You don't care about
I'm not
input
trying to be
lag.
the next road
Yeah.
warrior here.
Yeah, I just want it just because it's fun and like nostalgic.
I
And
played
this is a
Cuphead
good
on
affordable price.
I played Cuphead on an arcade stick, and honestly, I don't know if I could play it on a controller. I kind of really enjoyed that game on an arcade stick.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think I might pick this up. You can pre-order at Amazon. When does it ship? October 20th. For $100, that's not too bad. And it looks nice. Like it doesn't look like a weird sort of like a weird one.
Fake Mad
I can't.
Cats.
I don't see any pictures that show the bottom. Unfortunately, you might want to check it out. 8-bit Dough if you want to go.
There
see
was one on the verge that looked like rubber feet.
It. Yeah, that's what I would assume. There's no. Yeah, I don't think
If
you're like
this,
strapping it
with
in.
this picture where they're plugging something in, looks like that might be the bottom. I can't fully tell. Looks like a USB-C.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, but it doesn't show you like if there's
Doesn't
any
show anything
feet.
else.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Did you see the portable Wii?
I saw a couple things about this actually. Not just this video, but I also saw Spawnwave did one as well.
Yeah. So they made like a
Um,
Game Boy Wii system, which is pretty fucking cool, man. The Wii Boy Color. I don't really have much else to say about it other than they were able to fit it in like a Game Boy Advance. Is that a Game Boy Advance body or a Game
No,
Boy
that's a Game Boy.
Color?
That's a Game Boy size.
That's a Game Boy, like this Game Boy
Oh,
Color
it's using
size.
Samsung 18650s.
I think that's bigger than the color size, honestly.
It's using.
That's what I was saying,
18650s.
Game Boy.
I mean, it's definitely bigger than the Pocket.
Oh yeah, I think it's still bigger than a color.
Maybe it might be like
Yeah,
the OG
maybe
Game Boy
not.
size.
Oh,
I don't
No,
know
I
how
guess
big
it's color
this
size.
person's-
No, that's color size.
Yeah, it's
I
actually
don't know how big
pretty
this
small.
person's hands are for comparison.
Well, they show the
No,
Wii,
the start
Wii
of the video,
remote.
it's the same. It's a color size. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's still pretty cool though.
it's a pretty
screen threw
badass
me
little
off.
mod.
Yeah, just because the screen's so much larger.
Yeah,
I love
What's
like
the battery life on this thing?
it uses the 18650s. So if you want to fucking get your
Oh,
vape
hey.
together,
I've moved to 21700s, but I have a bunch of 18650s.
you might be able to make a 21700 mod.
Get better battery life out of it.
Oh my god, he's just attaching fucking. Oh, there's a fan right there. It's pretty cool. I think that's pretty fucking rad. It's crazy how fucking creative some people are, you know? Engineering. Pretty awesome.
I mean,
don't
the
know how you
Wii
even
was
get
one of
into
the
something
most.
like this.
The Wii was one of the most broken systems for homebrew. I
Really?
remember that. So this is not surprising. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
The Wii was.
It's just crazy how much power you can fit into such a small thing
Because
nowadays.
the Wii.
So there's this point where it's like Umbra, bring down the system. They're supposed to be like the Antifa type people. The cutscene in question shows a world descending into chaos and introduces Umbra as a faceless organization that wants to build a new world order and a new threat emerging to take advantage of our escalating civil unrest. It's not really Antifa, the opposite exact of Antifa. The group claims to promote an egalitarian utopia to gain popular support, while behind the scenes organizing deadly terrorist attacks to generate even more chaos and weaken governments at the cost of many innocent lives. Maybe it kind of is a Antifa thing. Anyways, they were using like the Black Power sort of like fist imagery, and they got shit on for using it, and people were like, "What are you doing using this?" Especially at a time like today, it just doesn't make much sense.
It's one of the most tone deaf things.
Yeah. Well, there's Ubisoft, I guess, right? Tone deaf is a good way to put it. So they took it
going on with
down.
them every week. Yeah.
I wonder if that means they have to like reskin all of their shit in the game. That's what I'm curious on.
I just don't understand the point of if you're attempting to make in-game propaganda. A tip is don't use anything that could be construed as already real-life propaganda.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely a good move. Especially
Like, don't use an actual like a symbol that's already recognized as belonging to an organization.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. That's just weird. That's a weird choice all around.
Yeah. I don't understand what's going on with some of these like corporations. You would think that they have a team of people saying like, "Don't do this. This is a bad idea." But it seems like not. Like we talk about companies all the time that make these terrible
They're
decisions.
so out of touch.
It's crazy, man.
I mean, and then name the organization Umbra. Like, we know what you're going for there.
Yeah.
Just if you want to name of the organization, the bad guy's black. I mean, we kind of already see through your guys here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just not smart.
Yeah. It's out of control. Fans are fed up.
Every week, Ubisoft, every week.
I know. I mean, maybe it's the whole like there's no PR, no such thing as bad PR thing. Maybe that's kind of what they're going for. Maybe they're at a tough time, so they're just like, fuck it. We'll just take all the bad PR we can get because it seems to drum up sales. You know?
But does it?
I don't know.
Because that hasn't been working too well for most companies in 2020.
I don't know. I would love to see the numbers. I mean, for some people it works, you know? There's some people out there that we probably wouldn't know of if it wasn't for like whatever controversy they got into. Who knows?
Oh, I think it's better for press, but as a direct translation to sales, I don't know. Like I'm just saying, 2020 has been a weird year. I don't think I don't know if we can actually attach the all press
Is bad.
is
Yeah.
good or all press is good press moniker in 2020.
Yeah, I would be curious to know if like
And that's
how
also
well
just-
that worked this year.
I mean, that's also just due to other. I mean, it's due to social factors, but it's even like the economy kind of sucks. So why am I going to waste a product on something that's got bad press?
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, back to 21. Madden 21. Fans are upset with the glitches. The glitches are crazy. There's a glitch here where this is pretty funny. I'm sorry, guys. Where he basically throws it and it seems to bounce all over the place and somehow magically land in the receiver's hands. Which is, I mean, that's like classic Madden.
The one with the fumble where nobody can pick it up for like 40 straight seconds.
Oh, I literally had happened to me just previously as well.
It's so bad.
Yeah. That actually is a real life NFL thing. When the football fumbles, it seems as if everyone has butter on their hands and they just can't pick it up. So I actually don't. I'll let that one slide. This one, if there's no markings on the field. There's tons of glitches. The game is currently sitting at a 0.3 on Metacritic, which is, I think, the lowest it's ever been.
That's
Part of me was like, oh,
really
it's being
bad.
review bombed.
Holy shit!
I mean, it's
Part of
practically
me is like, it's
zero.
definitely being review bombed. But even if you remove the review bomb, it still got to be like
It's a 63
4 at
critic
best.
score and a 0.3 user score. It's the worst. It's the worst reviewed Madden, I think. Ever.
No, definitely. That's one of the worst reviewed things, period, in a long time.
From a AAA developer
I
as
love
well.
this one with the 3 players in a row with the ball on the head.
Let me see which
Just
one.
a conga line of fuckery.
Oh yeah. It's just it's fucking crazy, man. Yeah, this one here. There you go. Does it get a touchdown for this? No. Oh, it falls.
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah. Hey, at least some
Okay.
people are having fun with Madden.
To give you an idea of the realm of Metacritic scores that have reached that low, do you want to have an idea of who has a better Metacritic score than Madden?
Let's hear it.
No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky has a 3.2. Fallout 76 has a 2.7.
Oh, very nice.
So that's where the Madden is for being review bombed, because both of these games are obviously review bombed too. But like, that's the realm you're sitting at.
Yeah.
They usually try to remove the review bombs if it's that bad, but yeah, Madden is just I don't know how you justify paying $60 for this.
You can't. You just can't. Or
And the
70
critic
bucks.
scores are actually very similar. What you said, a 60?
Yeah, that was
No
the
Man's
average.
Sky's Metacritic or critic score was a 61, and Fallout 76 was like a 58.
Yeah,
So
it's in that realm. And that's like the critic scores usually they're going to be pretty generous, because they're not a 60 is really bad for a critic basically. And now it might be $70. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which I'm excited for. PS5 and Xbox Series X versions are $70. More games to come at increased premium. So we're looking at $70. That seems is going to be the next sort of wave of pricing. $70. Is it justified? I'm not sure. I would have to speak to a game developer to really kind of debate that.
yes, I've argued this point multiple times. Yes, it's justified. The game has no game has risen in price in like 20 years.
Yeah.
If you factor in cost of inflation, we're buying games like $50 cheaper than they should be.
Yeah. Now, they do make more money. They make more money than ever, just because the industry is a lot bigger. But now they're gonna have to kind of recoup on some extra costs just for developing. I mean, marketing has gotten more expensive. I mean, everything in general.
I would be fine paying $70 if that means the microtransactions are gone or less.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I guess that's the question that we're all wondering: is that gonna happen?
With Activision Blizzard, no.
I wonder if with any sort of any game. I mean, I guess it really depends. Yeah, I guess it depends on like the publisher. That's really what it comes down to. $70. That's not too bad. All right. Last, Bandai Namco not playing around when it comes to rage quitting in Dragon Ball FighterZ. What's this, Doobie?
So they had their Dragon Ball FighterZ update like 2 weeks ago, maybe. I think it was 2 weeks ago, which was a hilarious moment where they also accidentally leaked the new character, which is Master Roshi. But they mentioned that right now they can't work on rollback, but they will be looking at the problem with rage quitting, which apparently has been, I haven't played online in a while, but apparently it's been like a really big problem. So they are now, if players who intentionally disconnect will be cut off from online lobbies for a full week. And if that said player continues to do it, that ban could become a permanent ban.
Wow.
They're not screwing around.
Whoa, yeah.
Well, I know like
I would get like
surprising
I
they
get
went
like an
that
hour
far.
or something, but wow.
Yeah, I don't know how long it takes for you to like, or if it how it tells if it's a disconnect because of a power outage versus an intentional disconnection.
Yeah, how do they find that out?
I feel like it wouldn't be on the first disconnect, but if it notices you have disconnected like 3 times in 3 hours or some nonsense, then it would like definitely start to view you more. It's to be like, okay, well, this seems to be a reoccurring problem.
Yeah. I wonder if
in-
it's like a legit repeated sort of thing, like 30 times in like a span of like 10 hours.
I mean,
or something.
Apex Legends did that, where if you leave a match, if you disconnect
you get a 10-minute penalty, and then every time you do it more, it actually makes you. I think it like increases the time, the duration of your essentially your ban.
Yeah. Smash has
Should
something
more?
similar too.
I want to ask, should more games do that?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I
don't
honestly,
know how it's like in Madden. Do people rage quit in Madden?
I don't see why it's so disruptive. Like with like Smash, it's like because they have the same kind of thing in Smash. And it tells you like if you disconnect a certain amount of times, then I forget what exactly they do. It's not like a ban.
It really just depends
Maybe
on
it's a
how
timeout.
often. Like if it happens every now and then, no one cares. But if you start, if that becomes like the culture, and it's like, hey, dude, anytime someone's starting to lose, if they just rage quit, forfeit, it kind of sucks. You don't get as
Yeah.
much.
It
of the,
definitely
like,
sucks in
joy.
Apex Legends because it's a team game, and when your teammate decides, "Screw it, I'm just gonna bail,"
Yeah, that's annoying. That's definitely
that's annoying.
Yeah, and it's in like a team type game. Yeah, that's definitely way more annoying.
And it can be really annoying when you're trying to play fighters and you're trying to get better at the game. You're trying to play equal talent, and you're trying to play anybody. And the minute you're winning, they quit. It doesn't feel satisfying.
Right. That was my.
Like you
point.
can get some satisfaction knowing that you got in their head, but that doesn't mean you were better at the game than them. It just means they have less patience.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Should other games do that? I'm not. Should other games
most
be
games
more like
do.
strict?
Honestly, most games do of that style of game, but not for a week.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Does
Don't-
Rocket
don't-
League do that?
I have no idea.
God, I know so many people have quit on Rocket League.
Yeah, I don't
I mean,
know.
I think so if you do it enough.
The
but
minute
I
you're
mean, like,
down
most of
3 to
those kind of
1, they
games-
bail. Like
Yeah, like CS:GO's always had that. Like leagues had
I
that.
know
you know
Go
what I
has
mean?
had it.
Yeah, like that's kind of standard, but yeah, definitely not for like a week ban. It's usually like, hey, as long as the match is going on for like an hour.
Yeah, I that's the thing is like they didn't start at the hour. They went for the full week from the start.
Yeah, they're really just saying like, don't do this. We don't want you doing this at all. Pretty intense. Don't do it, or you're gonna get banned. You're in a hot timeout. All right, that's it for gaming news.
Extreme timeout.
Let's talk about the new graphics card.
Oh, they're pretty
RTX.
cool.
What do you think of how they look? I think they look
I think they're
cool.
ugly as shit.
Wow, I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah,
I think they look awesome, man.
No, I think they're ugly as shit because they have one fucking fan.
Yeah,
No, they have
see, that's
two
the thing is I
fans.
like the 3070 because it has 2 fans.
I think they
Yeah.
both have fans. I think they all have two fans.
they all have fans. 2 of the 3080
True, but
and
the-
I think they have them, like,
3090
this
have one
way.
fan.
Yes,
that's
but if you
shown,
ever
and then
make
one,
a
I guess maybe that's covered.
the card still looks like it's a blower cooler, and even if it isn't a blower cooler, if you ever make a card that looks like a blower cooler, it's fucking ugly.
No.
Because that's how bad blower coolers are.
I
Those fans are
disagree.
gigantic.
I disagree. I think they look sick. I like the aluminum on it or whatever that metal is. And I
I'm
like
not
the
gonna be
idea of
looking at
like
it,
the
so I don't
sandwich.
really care what it looks
the
like,
sandwich.
honestly.
I like mine. Mine's right here. You know what I mean? I
mine's
don't
right
care
here.
that much. I care a little bit.
I think
but
that,
Mine's right here too. And I
think
see
you're
the
just
side that
looking at like
says
the side of it, and I think
BVGA.
that's
That's
good.
Yeah, you're just
that's
looking at the
glowing
side of
up
it.
in lights.
No,
That's all I
they-
see.
There is 2 fans in it, but it's still just the fact that it looks like a blower cooler. I fucking hate it.
Yeah,
It's
I
just-
think it looks
like
nice.
that's literally the reason why. And I
Yeah.
also just don't like all of the angles. The angles they're I don't know.
I can see why you wouldn't like the top side of it, but I think sideways.
Oh,
like,
the top side I think is fine. Sideways I hate it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I like this side. I like the aluminum in the. I just like it's like a clean aluminum sort of like strip on the side with the G-Force logo.
It's not though. It's a lot
Let me see if I
of
can find an image of the
preparation
side.
still. I don't know. I don't
What
like
do
the
you
amount
think of
of lines
the
on
What do you
it.
think of the 3090 triple decker? Do you got any room for it? I don't know if I even have room.
Oh, I can.
for-
Yeah,
for
I could
triple.
fit it, but like again, it just looks ugly. But at the same time, if I'm buying a 3080 or a 3090, I'm buying Founders Edition because Nvidia makes cards again, and they're the best silicon, unfortunately, and I would water cool it. If I'm investing that much into it, I'm just ripping the cooler off anyway and water cooling it.
Yeah, so this is like the best image I can show the side. So you
And I
kinda
think
have, like, a-
3070 is also ugly too, by the way. Sorry. I don't know. This compared to how clean the last one was is a step back, in my opinion. The 2060s, 2070s, those look clean to me. This doesn't look clean.
I like these. I like the metal on it. I think the metal makes it look pretty clean.
I like the metal. It's the black metal that has lines all over it for perforations, which I'm not saying don't have perforations. That's a good thing, but it's just the fact that, okay, so on this side of the fan, they're going vertically, but on this side of the fan, they're going at an angle, and then there's another angle at a different angle, and then it's back to vertical again with some little horizontal on the top thrown in. It's just, no.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like all this perforations here. Yeah. Yeah, like all the lines here.
Right. It's just the lines are all over the place for me personally.
Yeah. I wanted it to be more even. I like the blower idea too. The way it's like the sandwich blower style. I wonder how well that works.
I don't.
Probably gonna water cool it anyway, but
yeah. If I'm buying this card, I'm water cooling it. I don't trust anyone's blower cooler or anything that even looks like one.
This is the thing. I don't really fucking like go crazy with my cards like back in the day. Like the last 3 cards, I didn't really overclock them. So
I don't either, but
it's
the noise, dude. Boiler coolers are always way noisier. They perform less. It's just one of those things where I can't do that in. It's going back to capitalism, I guess, where it's just like, okay, so you made a vastly inferior product for the same price. Cool, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see some blocks for it. Because I'll probably end up water cooling it. I do want a water cool system. What do you think of the price?
I'm surprised. Better than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Honestly. I think they learned from the 2020 series where everyone was like, no.
Yeah, definitely. They're like, yeah, let's bring this down a little bit.
Hey, we're going to launch a 2080 for $800, and the 1080 Ti that you can buy for $400 is better than it.
Frosty says, who cares what it looks like? You know, I do. I actually do. I like a nice looking PC build, personally. You don't really see
if I had a floating PC and like I was staring at it all the time, then yes. But I don't have one of those setups.
Yeah.
I care because
cool.
I have all glass on the side. I have all glass on the side because I see it, and I'm not a heathen who puts it on the ground.
I didn't know where to put it.
At least
I don't have room to float it.
You got to get one of those little risers.
Yeah, put it on a riser. Don't. Yeah. This is a machine. I'm saying this for other people.
I'm blocking airflow is what I'm doing.
Well, no, it's partially good. Honestly, if it's on the ground, because that's the whole thing is you have a box covered in fans by your feet with all of the dust and grime and dust bunnies and everything else right at your feet, sucking into that computer, and you expect it to go well.
He's keeping his feet cool.
I need to get something for it. But I've always had my PCs on the floor forever.
I do too, but I have them on risers.
I don't. I have carpet.
Oh.
Yeah,
dude, I know.
It's not that bad. It's not bad.
I frequently clean it up.
If that helps. Yes. If you at least clean it.
It does suck. It does suck that I have to frequently, like, monthly clean it.
Yeah, right. You definitely have to monthly clean it.
Which is just a pain in the ass when you're unplugging 1,000 wires in the back.
And definitely don't forget to clean your PSU.
Even with the best cable management, it's still a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I would love eventually to have a floater, like, against the wall, hanging up,
like that thermaltate case. That'd be cool.
Something that is almost like you're showing it off.
Well, no, that's what I do. I've ended up started buying the 011 Dynamics for every build now.
Oh, really?
Because they're pretty.
They're so bad. They're
just pretty, dude.
And there's so much room, and they're so easy to.
I really like the NZXT case that I have.
Yeah, they're good for the price. They're really hard to beat.
Yeah,
they're really hard to beat.
And I enjoy.
And they're also pretty. I just have a lot more glass now.
Yeah,
I enjoy having nice SSD like trays.
Yeah,
which makes it really easy to install an SSD. Like, I mean, it's not hard to already install one, but I'm not fudging around with brackets. It's literally just slide it in.
Yeah. All right, so we got 3 releases: the 3070, 3080, and 3090, which is I'm assuming is taking place of the Ti. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, it's the Ti.
So we're not going to see a 3090 Ti, I don't think.
Not anytime soon, at least. And this is why I was fine, because I wasn't going to buy any of these cards at the moment because I didn't care enough to. But I don't know. Maybe I'll buy a 3070 because that card sounds
bucks.
amazing, actually.
Yeah, yeah, it does. $500, 3080 is $700, and then the 3090 is $1,500. I'm probably gonna land on the 3080. I was
Yeah, I don't
thinking
see the
about the
point of buying a
3090. Yeah, it's up there. That price is definitely up
Well,
there.
okay. Well, and also, again, to be fair, I'm also waiting on all of this because I don't trust Jensen. I mean, I trust Jensen, but I don't trust Jensen. I need Gamers Nexus or someone like that to actually benchmark all these cards.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like it's gonna be good. You know what I mean? It's gonna be good. The price is gonna be fine.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be
I
like a
just
rip off
don't-
or anything.
Well, no, that's why this is exciting. Is because I'm just more miffed at Nvidia still, just because of how much Turing sucked.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very curious to see Ampere. It looks awesome. All right, so right now, let's just go by the 3080. CUDA, the CUDAs, 8,704. Boost clock 1.71. 19 gigabit per second. Memory clock. The 3080 has 10 gigabits of VRAM, 24 gigabits of 39 on the 3090. So you're getting more than double VRAM, which I'm wondering, like, I wonder if aftermarket's going to come out with like 12 gigabyte VRAM on cards. Also, where's the wattage? 320 watts for the 3080, 350 watts for 3090. So it's sucking up a lot of power. A lot of power in these bad boys.
I mean, no, they seem. This is what I was waiting for, to be honest. This is also why I only bought a 2060. It's like,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna buy a card, I'll probably buy it, but I wasn't gonna buy it at launch anyways. And also, I knew there wasn't gonna be anything. It's Nvidia. They only launch a 80 and a 70, and now a 90. I'm surprised they actually launched the 90, to be honest.
I'm surprised they launched the 70. I thought they were gonna go 3080 and 3090.
Well, that is true. I don't know. It's new Nvidia, so I guess it's not. You see, the old plan used to always be 80 series, 70 series launched,
And then
release the TI later.
Yeah.
So yeah, who knows nowadays?
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays, I guess I'm happy they actually launching 3. I was still expecting,
Yeah.
probably 2
I'm curious when the 60 is gonna come.
next year. That's why I didn't care at the moment.
What do you think it's gonna come out? Like 250?
No, it's still going to be
300?
350.
350?
Yeah. They lowered the price, but they just matched super pricing basically. So I'm not expecting it to be any better than that. It's going to be 350, 400.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious. Some of the new stuff that they implemented was pretty fascinating. So let me bring up his.
But they
speech
matched
here.
they match OG pricing, not super pricing.
Yeah, they matched their original pricing on it.
Mostly. Well,
Original launch
Sorta.
pricing.
not complete original, because the 2080 was 800. That's why everyone hated it. So
Oh,
they
right.
did drop the 3080 price down to what the 2080 is currently, because the 2080 currently has been 700, while the Super has been 800.
Yeah. All right. So
I'm just happy to not have fucking 50 NVIDIA SKUs again.
Well, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I get a fucking 3-month reprieve, dude.
And Nvidia's in the next few months, you're gonna see a $50 card, like a $50 in between card for everyone. All right. So
Well, yeah, because they actually launched it before AMD, and all the rumors were they were going to wait for AMD, and AMD was going to wait for them, and vice versa, and it's a game of chicken. So now
we're
AMD
waiting
is going to relaunch in a month probably, and try to be even better. Then you're going to see a super version or some bullshit.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what AMD's got up the pipes. I want to see more. We'll talk about it in a second. All right, so some of the new sort of like features that Turing is bringing, or I'm sorry, Ampere is bringing, that they were kind of putting out there was Reflex, which is like lower latency, 360 hertz low latency G-Sync monitors, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna start to see 360 hertz monitors. Now,
I don't care about that.
I don't
And
personally
that's-
care about that, but I wonder, like, how much of a difference is that going to be from what's the highest now?
240.
240, yeah.
It's going to be very, like, it's going to, okay, I'll put it this way. Unless you are a CSGO semi-pro, you don't have to be a pro. You like very, very competitive, you're probably not going to notice. And that's because they're the only people really at the moment who have been able to really notice the difference between 240 and 140.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's the same thing like a camera world, where once you start going over like
There's the
honestly about
diminishing
like
return.
165 seems to be like kind of that cutoff of like, all right, you're getting really into
Yeah.
very minimal incremental upgrades.
Yeah. But it's cool. I mean, it's nice that it makes sense because like they're just going to have to keep raising it anyway, just because
True.
of that market. So it's nice to see that they're going to implement that
Well,
stuff.
it's also nice too, because like I'm saying that right now, but in 2 years, while these cards are still relevant, I'll be on year 8 of 144 hertz. You know what I mean? So
Right.
maybe after 8 years, I'll actually be able. My plebeian hands and eyes will be like, oh, now I can feel it better.
Yeah.
Because now if you go back to 60 hertz, which we always thought was okay, it feels like utter trash. So
It's crazy. I know. Yeah. Yeah. Now it's basically nothing under at least 100 hertz. All right. What else we got here that they announced? There's some really cool stuff here. So they had like the studio stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. So more like RTX voice type features. They showed off the video stuff, so now they can swap the backgrounds out. You can add the background blur. They have like this camera feature that follows you around, like kind of like basic stuff, but it's just kind of nice to see that they're kind of still focusing on this market, which is good.
true. I'll wait and see about that. Just because I don't know, man. Like almost every
You can tell in the video he's sitting very still.
yes, like
Yeah.
no software. I already just saw it break there. No software implemented design like that without a green screen's ever.
Yeah.
Even with a green screen, to be honest, has usually been shit.
Yeah. What I want
Unless
to know
you're
is,
actually get a specialized thing for
I
that.
want to see use like the Windows Hello sort of like
But-
telemetry, and then pair that up. That way it can determine where you are in the physical space, and then blur the background out. That might work.
That could be interesting, yeah. I mean, but hey, at the same time, they might do better than I'm expecting, because I expected RTX voice to
I
be
know,
trash,
yeah.
and here we're all using it, and it's amazing.
Yeah, RTX voice is fucking crazy good, dude. I really thought this machinima stuff was cool. I loved how he said machinima is like a new thing, taking like game assets and creating videos. But now they're kind of focusing more
new?
on it. I know, it was weird that he said it was like this new thing.
What?
Yeah, and now they have like a whole like machinima suite. NVIDIA, they're calling it NVIDIA Omniverse Machinima. So it's just basically almost like Ansel meets Blender kind of thing going on.
That is kind of interesting, but it's the same. What? I'm still getting okay.
Yeah, it was weird.
Isn't machinima.com older than YouTube?
Yeah. No,
I'm saying that rhetorically because it is.
It's very odd that they came out like this is like a new thing that people are doing. But some of the cool stuff they're doing is like body motion tracking just through the webcam, facial motion tracking that you can just add on your machinima people. So just giving people more tools to kind of make some stuff with, which I'm always a fan of. They did this Banner Lord video here. And then we get into
Still a fantastic game, by the way, and you should play it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I should play it actually. Has it gotten any better? Any like new
yes,
patches and stuff?
Yeah, they've been a little slower lately, but that's mostly because they've been working on bigger patches, I guess. But no, like most of the game-breaking bugs have been fixed at least. Doesn't like you. It's not like you're opening Resolve and your entire project's getting dumped onto your memory anymore, which that's nice.
So they started showing off a lot of like the deep learning stuff. They were showing the character concepting thing, which I thought was really cool. Just like on the fly character concepting, physics, cloth-based physical stuff. Just kind of the same sort of like creator suite stuff that we know comes from them. The denoising stuff is pretty cool. I'm sure we're gonna start to see that more implemented more into video. Here they showed off the DLSS 2.0, which was the biggest focus I think of Ampere, is the addition of just more data in DLSS 2.0, and
which seems weird to me though at the same time, because that's still Turing.
Yeah,
like that
it's a Turing-based system that
DLSS
dumped
failed so hard they redid it, and it's on all of the RTX cards.
Yeah, and it looks pretty fucking good now, at least from what.
No,
they're
it looks
showing.
a lot better. It's the issue still is that we're now getting second gen RTX cards, and I still think I own 0 games that can use any of. Oh, I own Minecraft. Excuse me. Minecraft is the one game I own that can use any of this technology.
Yeah. Let's see what else we have here.
Which that kind of sucks. But I didn't buy the card for that tech.
Yeah. Then they showed off the ray tracing stuff. They showed off the new Marbles stuff. So last generation, they showed off Marbles was running at 720p, and it was just all path traced, real-time real tracing. And now they showed that with DLSS, they're up to 1440p at 30 frames per second instead of 720 at 25 frames per second. And it looks great. The demo they showed off looks really good. And then they just show off a bunch of benchmarks. They kind of show like kind of what, I don't remember what the technology name was, but how they're offloading the GPU memory in a different manner with Ampere, how it's a lot quicker. And I'm not exactly sure how this works. But then they show off these benchmarks, and then they show 8K DLSS working with a bunch of like the kind of funny people. Where is this at? They're playing a bunch of games, and I was listening to them talk about it in some of their shows. And if they're upscaling to, I believe they're upscaling from 1440 upscaled with DLSS 2.0 to 8K, running at 60 frames per second. And they were stating basically that native 8K and DLSS 8K, there was no visual difference. It was pretty much you're running 8K. So again, it's not native 8K, but through the AI upscaler, it seems to be a lot better now. So that's really exciting.
Their new upscaler for the 2.0 engine's actually been good.
Yeah, I really want to see it, man. I really want to see this stuff in action.
No, like this DLSS seems more promising to me at the moment than ray tracing outside of work applications.
Yeah.
But like it's still the issue of who fucking uses it.
Yeah. Well, we know we're getting a lot more games now with RTX features on. So hopefully the RTX works a lot better, because now RTX just in itself is going to be a lot more performant. And then when you add DLSS on top of that, the idea is that you're not going to get too much of a performance hit at your higher tier graphics, at higher tier resolutions like 4K. No one's really going to be playing 8K. It's really just kind of a tech showcase. So I'm really fascinated to see what these cards do. And then just in terms of raw performance, Digital Foundry states like 70 to 80% across the board. And then with DLSS, I think like up to 2 times performance, which is an extra, 200% on top of the baseline of last generations. So at the end of the day, if you're looking at just like raw performance, expect around like 70 to 80% increase in whatever you got going on now. And then even more so if you're going to be using the DLSS features with whatever games can take advantage of it. I'm very curious to see because there's a lot going on right now in the video world with like HEVC, H.265, 422 compression, 10-bit stuff like that. We've already seen with the R5, it's such a problem. Nothing fucking runs it. It's so annoying. You have to proxy everything. I'm wondering if this card is going to be able to resolve it.
I told you that 2 years ago.
I'm wondering if it's going to be able to resolve it.
I doubt it. But I
don't see why. I don't understand why, because it can resolve 444. It just seems like just the 10-bit 422 is not resolved.
Right. I mean, the fingers crossed. That is the hope that they added it. But if it's a hardware thing, if they weren't working on that a year ago, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if you can just turn on like the software. I would imagine
that's been the issue. Is it's a hardware decoder. You can't just software it in.
Yeah. So and I'm wondering if AMD is going to have something like that, because we know Apple is going to be implementing that stuff in their silicon. But
I don't know I still don't know if they're implementing it into their silicon though.
Yeah.
I think I still haven't had that confirmed that Apple Silicon's actually going to use outside of Apple GPUs.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But Apple Silicon seems to have it enabled, so or at least a proxy version of it that works better.
Yeah, it's very very fascinating. And then like all of like the denoiser stuff, I'm very fascinated in terms of like video operation and all the streaming stuff. It's one of the reasons why I like NVIDIA more than AMD currently, is because AMF, I think it's AMF, either AMF or VMF, their encoder where NVIDIA has NVENC, It's just not comparable to NVENC. NVENC is so fucking good, and I haven't used the new NVENC on the touring cards. I'm very curious to see how well they work on the Ampere card. So I've been due for an upgrade. I still rocking the 10 series, and I'm gonna definitely be picking up. I'm probably gonna get the 3080. I don't think there's any reason to get the 3090 currently, unless you need all that VRAM, I guess. But the 3080 looks pretty fucking good.
I mean, well, okay. Here's the question: do you need a budget Titan?
I don't know. I don't think so.
If the answer wasn't immediately yes, no, you need
think
your
so.
3080 is good enough.
But I can always justify a nice fucking big beefy 3-decker GPU. I don't know.
And there's going to
I'll
be
probably
plenty of
just go for
3080s that are actually that
Yeah.
because Nvidia makes them a little bit too small.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get the 3080. I might even go 3070. It depends on what the benchmarks look like on 3070. Because I don't even have a 4K gaming display. You know, I'm still in 1440pville. But should I upgrade to 4K? I don't know. It looks like 4K is here, at least for PC gaming. You can get at least over a steady 60 frames per second in 4K.
True,
Ultra.
but then the question is, are the monitors there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Which for pure gaming, they're getting there, but there still isn't that like it's still not to the point of 1080 and 1440p where you can have your cake and eat it too and get like
100% ARGB
Right.
monitor with the G-Sync 4K.
right.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything like that yet. At least, well, there's probably is at like 100 hertz, but I don't think there's there for 144 yet or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm
'Cause
imagining
that's my sweet spot. That's why I usually wait. It's half card performance, but it's half like
the monitor. Yeah.
the monitor. Well, it's like, yeah, dude, I'm not giving up 144 hertz and I'm not giving up 100%.
What's wrong,
ARGB.
Doobie? Did someone? What happened? You all right over there?
We're both watching hockey.
I can
It's all
see.
good.
I see he's upset. What happened? Just-
Dumb penalty. Dumb
okay.
penalty.
Okay. What's the score?
0-0.
Okay.
0-0, but it's the very end of the first.
All right. All right. All right, and that's pretty much it. We have GoPro 9 leaks, which just shows off they have a front display
Well,
now.
do you want to talk about Pana at all?
Yeah, let's go.
I mean, there's nothing new. It's just that's tomorrow. I'm interested because now all of the Sony rumors have shifted that they're actually. Have you want to also talk about the Sony rumors? Have you been paying attention to those at all?
A little bit.
That the Sony rumors sound weird. Like I'm trying to think of a word that isn't bad, honestly.
You're talking about the A7C?
Yeah, like I just conceptually to me, I'm trying to wrap my head around it still. So from the rumors at least, and this is all subject to change, obviously this is just rumors, but it's a camera that costs $200 to $300 more than an A7 III. Might have 10-bit, but at a really bad bit rate. But is the size of an A6600, has a flippy screen, but it's expected to still use pretty much everything else the same from the A7 III.
Yeah.
So it's an A7 III with a flippy screen for more money.
Yes.
But this is supposed to be the entry line, but it's also coming out with a newer version of the 28 to 70 and another lens in the V line, which are supposed to be compact, small, light glass.
Yes. It doesn't make much sense.
Just make.
But this is
Why?
the world of Sony.
Why? Just keep it APS-C, I guess, at that point.
This is the world of Sony. They do wacky things.
And I'm fine with the wacky, but price it appropriately.
I think it is priced appropriately. It's a full frame with 4K 60. And you get a flip screen and you get
the 4K,
IBIS.
but the 60 is apparently really fucked up.
Yeah, it's probably stupid. It's probably a dumb 4K 60.
They're expecting it to be heavily cropped, heavily no sound.
But it's a
Like,
24 megapixel sensor. So you are getting that you're getting that hybrid ability in there. Full frame.
True.
I'm
but-
curious as to why they're putting it in the A6000 body.
Well, no, that's why it's C. It's compact.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's supposed to be small for vloggers.
I don't know why that. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I like that body, but
make an A7 IV with a flip screen.
I know that's the thing.
My problem more is like, all right, so you're making this more expensive. You could argue it's worse than the A7 III because it sounds like it's the same internals.
This is what I think they're doing. I think this is the entry.
It's the XT4 all over again, but worse.
This is what they're doing. I'm gonna tell you right now. This is the entry. The A7 IV is gonna be $3,000.
That's what I'm kind of guessing.
It's gonna be in the A7 III body with the flip screen. It's gonna have the same sort of like 30 megapixel sensor, but then with like a true 4K 60, maybe even 4K 120. Maybe that's the gimped mode. And then that's gonna be their new A7 line.
I know, but it just
and
seems
then are
weird.
They killing the APS-C? Who knows?
I don't think you can at this point now because the 6600 is still
huge,
somewhat of an arguably better camera for $400 or $500 less.
Yeah.
Because what the thing was, if this has better color science, hell yeah. If this or like all of this A7S3 improvements, hell yeah. But it seems weird to me that it's half A7S3, half APS-C, half A7 III.
Yeah, it is weird. With a pop-up EVF, which is from the RX 100 line.
Right. So
it's pretty interesting. I mean,
if I already have a
Ninja,
I don't care about the flippy screen as much as you do personally. So why am I going to spend extra money for an A7 III? To be less usable.
Why? Wait. What
you
mean? Why would you spend more money on this?
In my personal case, where it's like, okay, so I'm already using a Ninja with it. I don't care about the flippy screen. I can save $400 by just buying the A7 III.
Well, that's assuming you already have a Ninja.
Correct, but at the same time, you could buy like a port keys monitor for the less than the price difference and have a better screen.
Yeah, but then I think the flip screen is definitely a good addition.
I do too, but
I don't know if it's worth that price increase.
That's more my argument. Is like I do. Like, yes, I'd prefer flip screen over not flip screen, obviously. But if that's like the major difference, that's a weird price difference to me. Especially if Sony bodies, which are already too small, are now getting smaller.
Yeah.
I
think for
vlog, I was hoping this thing was gonna be $1,000.
No. Not with those video specs.
That's what it should be in my mind. I don't know, dude.
Well, when you're comparing it against like an RP, it's tough, right? Because the RP has, I mean, it's $1,000 and you get a lot of those good features that you kind of want.
I'd rather buy an RP over this from what it sounds like at the moment.
Yeah, and then that's kind of where I'm at. It's like, what exactly? I like it, and I think that it's definitely going to sell well because it is a good vlogging camera. It's going to have great vlogging features for it, but it's just like the top tier vlogging camera as opposed to more of like an entry full frame camera. You know what I mean? It's like it's a very odd sort of segmented market.
That's my problem right now with the current. That's why I was hoping this would be better. I was hoping the R6 would be better. I was hoping the A7 IV will be $2,000 and be better. And this is why I wanted to transition into Panasonic with their new S5 coming out tomorrow. The $2,000 price range now seems bad almost, I guess. Where that was always the king. That was always the bread and butter. And now it's like, well, if I'm going to focus on image quality, I'm going to go for an R5 so I can actually record long time, or I'm going to go A7S III because it's pretty great too. And at that point, I can always just buy an S1H, which is even better almost without autofocus. But that $2,000 line, it's finding that harder limit there of like, I don't know. I'm still going to have to see a lot.
So I want to know, like, if this was
pending, I got to see the footage, obviously, but it on paper, it seems weird to me that I was really hoping for more from this $2,000 price bracket, at least from Sony.
So I'm wondering if this was in the A7 III body, and
well, and that's the other thing too is it has more video features, so you have and this is the weird part too, is this is what really sounds like the major difference between this camera and the A7 III is this camera has a flippy screen and a really shitty 4K 60 mode. And then the A7 III has, 11 frames per second mechanical shutter. This one only has a 5.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the difference.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it sounds like they're the same camera. That's why. I don't know. I just wanted to see a new camera, I guess. For $2,000.
it's
Because right now it's just like, well, I could still buy another XT3 for $1,000.
And I'm wondering if it is going to be $2,000. I personally think it is going to be $2,000. The rumors think it's going to be $2,000, slightly above $2,000. And I think you're getting I don't know. I see what you're saying.
I think it's fine. It's just like,
I
okay,
see
in
what you're
comparison
saying.
to the amount of hype and innovation we have seen in this new $3,500 market or around there, we've seen a ton of innovation.
It's just not there in the 2000.
Right. The 2000 is now looking like nothing. I'm not saying the $2,000 line should have that level of innovation either if you're putting a higher priced product. I was just expecting Sony to come out with something more than like, well, here's a 2-year-old camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's
I'm
what feels
curious.
weird about it to me.
I'm curious. I think when we see the specs, because if it's 10-bit.
Our 3-year-old camera now?
It might be 3 years old. Yeah. I mean, if it's 10-bit, if the bit rate is good on it, and they do use the upgraded color science, so you are getting that higher dynamic range, then I think it's a little bit easier of a sell. I still think the wait would be I think the move would still be to wait to see what the A7 IV is supposed to be. But see, the thing with Sony is like, you don't know.
Or, hey, dude,
they could just kill
Panasonic,
the A7 IV.
All I'm just saying is Panasonic, they got eye tracking now.
In contrast,
they got the contrast-based eye tracking.
All right, so let's talk about the Panasonic, which
my God, I secretly just want this bullshit. It's not going to work. But I really want this bullshit contrast eye autofocus to work.
It's not gonna work.
I know, dude. I just want it to work for there to be
jumpy.
more competition, because this is what I was talking about. Of like, okay, here we go. This is not an S1H. This is not an R5. It's not an A7S III. But for $2,000, here's finally matching Fuji X-T3 specs and a full frame camera.
Yeah, so it's coming with the 24 megapixel sensor. So you're getting
That's
you're getting double the sensor size of a native 4K sensor. You're getting 4K 60 with no recording limits. It's going to be a legit 4K 60.
And all of the modes too, by the way. Like, that's the thing I like about Panasonic that draws me there, because I'm the more video person. Definitely a more video person. It's like, okay, so you have 4K, you have DCI 4K or the Cinema 4K. You got an anamorphic for all modes. You know what I mean? It's not just like, here's a 4K. It's actually, here's any type of usable 4K you can think of. It's in the fucking camera.
Yeah. It says smooth and flexible 4K 60 recording and expressive power of 4K Full HD 10-bit recording with abundant color gradation, equipped with various video recording formats optimized for various video expressions. If you set 4K 60, 30, 24, 10-bit, you can record movie for about 30 minutes, and under the recommended environment, you can resume recording immediately. What? Wait. What does that mean?
No, I have been hearing that the
So
4K
it's going to
60
overheat?
The 4K 60 sounds like overheats at about 50 minutes.
Well, it says 4K 60, 30, and 24.
I didn't see that at first.
Yeah, if you set 4K 60, 30, 24, 10-bit, you can record for about 30 minutes. And under the recommended environment, you can
that
resume
would be
recording
big if
immediately.
it does overheat, because that kind of sucks. But the question
But then
to
it says
me
you can
really
resume
is
recording immediately.
if you can restart immediately, then I'm fine with that. That sounds weird, though. That is a weird word choice.
I wonder if it's just a 30-minute
Because there isn't a
limit?
30-minute tax on it. There isn't a 30-minute timer on it. You know what I mean? So if it's going to stop because it's overheating, but then you can immediately restart, why did it have to stop?
But then it says here 4K 30, 24, 8-bit, and Full HD. You can record without time limit, meaning without temperature limit, and support long. It does. 10-bit is going to overheat in this camera. Uh-oh.
I could see that. Well, the thing, I mean,
You can't have a camera that overheats and doesn't have autofocus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. I mean, it's that, but it's also what I'm curious to is.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm going to wait and see. All cameras overheat, unfortunately. but I want to see it actually get tested. Though that is kind of a bummer, because
Yeah.
the thing too is you might also be seeing some companies now doing
That might even be a 4K line skipped 8-bit. You know?
probably because I think they use long op too.
Yeah.
No, but the thing that I'm also interested in is how much has marketing been paying attention to Canon, and maybe they're just doing the other version of conservative, and just being like, hey, this is going to overheat at some point. We're letting you know, and it actually runs longer. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Though I do wonder. Now it says if you're in the, I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. That's gonna be interesting. They
If that
definitely
starts
marked
overheating,
it.
that kind of sucks.
Yeah, they
but at the same
definitely
time,
marked it
like
on there.
if you're looking for camera on paper, I want this. I'm probably not going to buy this camera. I don't own any Pana. I've been semi-interested in Pana. I like Pana's
too.
colors more than
I've always
Wayne
been
does.
interested in the GH series. I've always been interested in the S1 series. It's just I need
it-
autofocus. I can't. That's a non-starter for me.
I can get away with it, but I prefer it. But it's just one
Not
of
at
those
the
things where it's
prices
like,
they're asking. If this was like Black
right.
Magic pricing, sure.
True, exactly. But at the same time, if everyone's going to start pricing 500 to $1,000 more than them, that's more of an issue or a talking point, I guess, for them.
Yeah.
But the thing that I really don't get is
They're saying 14 stops dynamic range, which is pretty good in Vlog.
it's gonna be like what 12 and a half, maybe
Yeah.
13
We'll see. I mean,
if you're
we'll
lucky.
see.
But no, I don't know. Like I just really want, because Fuji's obviously not. I love Fuji. Fuji is my heart and soul, but they're not going to make a full frame camera.
Yeah.
So it's got to be Pana. Come on, please step up, make a third company. Please give me some fucking competition, because fuck, this sucks. Just watching Sony and Canon and on the sideline just being kind of like, so I got to pay a Honda Civic for a camera that sucks. Cool, dude.
Are you measuring things in Honda Civics? Are you fucking Colt?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull the Colt now. It's like I can buy a Honda Civic,
man,
or I
that's
can
a
buy a
good-
camera I'm gonna be unhappy
It's
with.
a good
Well, I'll be happy with
pricing
it, but like, God.
structure. All right, we also got the good IBIS system. They're saying dual IS2 strongly assists the expression of photo. They need to stop with this expression. Fucking, they use the term.
No, and I do have
expressive
to say their marketing
so many
was
times.
horrible, dude. Their marketing was so bad. That first video that they launched was,
Yeah, it was so bad.
fucking bad.
Can you send
And
it to me? I'm gonna show the.
Yeah, it was in the Discord at some point. Like it's not that it was like that. I mean, it was pretty bad, but it wasn't like super terribly framed or anything. But it's like, okay, so the camera's entire point is it's it's Panasonic. You have a very good IBIS system. So the video is them using it on a gimbal, then making it hella soft and uploading it only in 1080 or only in 1080, and then the entire message of the video is for video content creation.
Here, I got the video. So this is the video. This is the video
What?
of the S5 teaser trailer, and it's black and white. It's not even in a correct frame rate. It seems like it's like resolved in like a 12 frames. It's in black and white.
Everything about it's just
It's in
so
like
weird,
and
dude.
mind you, this is streaming at 1440, so we have like a pretty high quality stream. What you're seeing, terrible quality, is them. It's not this.
Yes,
stream.
no, they uploaded it in 1080p, soft as shit, and like half out of, like, that's the trick, is you can't tell if it's out of focus if everything is.
It's so bad, and it's just this guy with the camera on a gimbal, and then it says September 2nd. Man, maybe we should be live streaming.
And then and then the only thing I want to, because I'm like,
all right, maybe we'll live stream.
I want to get hyped for Panasonic. I want there to be I don't want it to be a big 2. I want it to be like a big 6, honestly. But Olympus is gone, so maybe we can have Fuji be a big 4. But
Yeah,
like,
let's live stream it tomorrow. What time is this?
I'm down. I just want to see
2
people
p.m.
actually get reviews, because the thing is, I really like what Pana did with their Holy Trinity. I think they're overpriced. I don't think the glass is super anything special. But again, as someone who is mostly a video person, that focus clutch is really fucking dope.
There's I mean, like
That focus clutch is so it's in all of the Trinity. So your focus ring, you can just click it down and go to straight full manual and not have to deal with fly-by-wire bullshit.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like, that's so fucking awesome, dude.
I think all of their cameras are great. They just really need to work on their autofocus to the point where it's like, it doesn't even have to be like Canon good or Sony good, as long as it just...
I mean, that's the problem I have
Lots,
with Fuji's.
you know
Fuji's
what I mean?
pretty good, honestly, if you're in good lighting. and
Yeah.
you have a face in the frame.
Yeah.
If you have anything else, if you're trying to film anything other than a person's face, it sucks.
Yeah.
But it's just, and I want them. I don't think they're good enough to invest $3 or $4 grand into. You know what I mean? For if they made a camera that price that wasn't medium format.
I'm
like-
I'm fascinated by this now, especially now that we know that this could potentially overheat. This is going to be
True.
a very interesting camera. I want to see what price it comes out at. So we're thinking $2,000.
Yeah, no, that's all the rumors is it's $2,000, which that's like, please, like this is what I'm talking about. Is like that should be the bread and butter B cam, awesome market vlogging B cam.
I'd still go
Place.
to Sony over this though. I still think.
Oh,
I'd
I
go
probably
with
would
Sony.
too. But like, because I don't expect this to work. But if this magically works, I'll be so happy.
Yeah.
Because I just want that. I think both Canon and Sony at this point need that true actual third competitor trying to push them forward.
I think it's Fuji. I do think Fuji's there pushing them. I don't think currently.
I think Fuji's pushing them on the low end.
Yeah,
yes, but not on that full frame higher.
I
end
think if
scale.
their GFX line can come down in price a little bit to full frame pricing, I would be very fascinated by like a full frame price GFX 100 or something like that, because
they kind of have that, but they just need to work on that more, because that could be interesting. The only problem is GFX is, if you think the Fuji X glass lineup is weak,
yeah. I want to see more.
I mean,
from
well,
them
dude, you can
there.
buy a 50R for $3.5 grand right now, like
Yeah.
all the time. The problem is it's not a good video camera.
Yeah.
And
No,
I mean, it's a
the-
really great still scan.
I think the
For $3.5
100 is
grand, it's
great.
amazing.
It's just it's what is it, $10,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the one we all want cheaper, obviously. But
Yeah. But
that
that's the one
actually
that
took
I'm
the X-
excited for, like, because it's got great video features and it's a medium
Right.
format fucking camera. I mean,
because it just
That's
took all the things that is good about the X lines.
yeah.
So I'm very like this. That is the thing I am so interested in. Is I know the deep down, I just know the autofocus is still gonna suck.
Yeah.
But I really want to see how the hell this eye autofocus works.
I know. We're gonna do the stream. I want to see all of the marketing they're gonna do.
Oh, dude, I want to see all the marketing, but like I'm really hoping they go
see how
full
they address
Sony and
overheating.
just say, here's the stream, and then the second the stream's up, embargo drops, and people are actually showing it off.
Yeah, that'd be
I don't
cool.
want it to be Canon. Here's
Yeah.
the stream, and we'll let Peter McKinnon show a 5-second clip of the fucking camera,
know.
but not footage.
That was I knew they were gonna fucking do that too. Yeah. Don't ever stop doing that. Sony does it you have to do the way Sony does it. Like exactly what you just said. Here's the camera. Now all the tubers got it, and they're all gonna use it in their own little weird ways. And yeah, Panda needs to do the same thing. And I'm curious in the price. I think if they, I think the Sony's interesting.
It is, but
I see what you mean. 2,000 is a little high for it. If this was like 1,500, it'd be
it's
more
not that
reasonable.
it's that high for it. It's that I don't know. It is a little too high for it, in my opinion, just because you can do better than that. Just because I'm a Fuji stan, I'm looking at crap, dude. The XT3 is $1,000. That's made buying cameras that aren't $3 grand or more very hard for me.
Yeah, XT3 on APS-C on the APS-C side. Even if you go up to the 6600, which is a great APS-C camera. And
It is, but that's literally the A66 was brought out as a clone of the XT3. The
Yeah.
Canon rumors of like the new $1,700 Canon is the XT3 specs.
Yeah.
Like that's the problem for me, is like you could still buy an XT3 for $1 grand. That's like the ultimate budget cam now.
And then on the
It's
other side, on
Insane
Canon,
what you get for that.
you have like 1,500, you can get an R. And then for 2,500, you can get an R6, which is a little bit more than this, but I'd argue a better camera altogether.
Really depends on the overheating though.
Yeah.
Because if these both overheat, I agree with you. If this one doesn't overheat, then it becomes a question of how much do you need autofocus, and versus how much do you need no record time limits.
Yeah.
And that's what I was hoping the big battle was going to be, because I don't know, I've been the weird Pana kit glass has been growing on me. The 20 to 60 weirdness, I like it.
Yeah, I mean that's a weird. It is a weird range, but
But
it's like that
I'd
24
rather
70.
it go wider. I'm happy with that. If
Yeah.
you now have a
Like
kid,
I said,
I want more kids being 20. To be
dude, my
honest,
favorite, my dream lens is an 18 to 200, f 2.8. Give me an 18 to 200 2.8. I'll never buy another fucking lens again.
yeah, I will. But
Because you can kind of get that already, like an 18. If you can get an 18 to like
well, no,
50,
that was the thing with Sony is you could do
the crop,
that's why the Tamron stand. You get the 28 to 200, and then you buy the 17 to 28.
or you just get a crop. You just put the crop on there, and then you got that extra focal range. What else? Anything else from Sony?
You do, but it won't
Alpha?
go as wide.
Oh,
That's
is it
why
there?
that was why the 20 to 60 is kind of cool to me. Is like cool. I want to see more kit lenses be that fucking wide out of the box.
Wait, did we talk about the Sony Cinemas? We didn't even talk about this
No.
last week. So then we also got the RF Cinema line, which is rumored.
Are the Canon ones?
Yeah, I mean the Canon, yeah. Basically, they're gonna release the C200 and the C300 in RF mounts, slightly gimped in the 50 version.
I do really love that body. If that, like, I know it looks a little squeezed, but if it's anything close to that, please, dude, I love it.
I think this could be really sick.
I wish it was full frame, but like, I don't care.
I know, I do wish it was
I personally, I'm shooting crop mode. I almost always shoot crop. I look fine with that. I love that body. Oh my god.
Everything's on one side. Now, I'm wondering if it has some sort of articulating display. That's what has me kind of worried. Usually
Yeah, I
in these
don't
cameras,
care.
you're going to throw a display on it anyway.
Exactly. Like that's what I care. It looks beefy, you know. If it looks like a slightly beefier 1DC, so like,
It looks
dude,
fucking cool.
I'm gonna slap a ninja on top anyway. I don't give a shit.
It looks fucking cool.
Oh, it looks
It's just like
the
this
perfect
like,
size,
yeah,
dude.
that looks fucking rad. I can't wait
It's
to
it's
actually
the box
see it.
square that I want with a good grip on it. Like that's yes, dude.
So now let me ask you, on the pricing side, rumored pricing from Canon rumors. Oh, there's a bunch of Canon news actually.
I
Rumored
mean, the
size.
pricing wise, I do wish it was pushed a little bit farther, just because the 7S3 is really sexy at the new price range.
That's the thing.
But at the same time, like, I'm waiting to see what's wrong with it. I guess almost like,
That's
and I
the
don't mean
story
that
of
something's
Canon.
going to be wrong with it.
That's the story of
even though
Canon.
it is canon. But like, those, I mean, dude, you can buy a mini C200 for $3,300 or a mini C300 Mark III for $6,300.
Yeah.
What? Like that's like pure image quality wise. Like look out Komodo, dude. Even though Komodo I still think is better than the C300, arguably depending on how you use
Yeah, but
it.
just an image. Just an image.
Right. But
This
like,
gives you a great image,
gives-
but all the usability
yeah.
of the Canon C200 line or C line.
and an RF mount that actually works.
And an RF mount, yep. With an actually, yeah, that actually works, exactly. This is going to be super fascinating. And then on the low end, you have the C50, which is 3,500. Same sensor as the C200.
I mean, it's a C200. Like,
It's just,
I'm not going to
I'm not sure if the 8-bit thing, if they're saying it's only
sucks.
8-bit,
It kind of does suck because I'm just saying that as someone who is sitting here like, yeah, but my Fuji stills camera has had 10-bit for 2 years now.
yeah, it definitely would be an arbitrary limitation there.
Right.
It's not
It's
like
just one of
it
those like
can't
I
do
wish it was, but at the same time, I'm also sitting here like, it's a $3,000 C200.
Right, with RF
Like-
mount and all the other like auto, like it's got so much.
I mean, all
going
of that
for it.
stuff's amazing. I don't even care about that. It's a fucking $3,000 C200.
Yeah,
Like,
I know, and I was saying that to like
dude,
there was
I
a,
love this. I love using the C200. Like, are you kidding me? That for $3,000? Fuck.
I
man.
know it's fucking crazy. And then
I would stop renting for that shit.
I it's really fascinating. I'm very fascinated to see all this because I'm not even 100% sold. Like, if it's only 8-bit internal and there is a mounted screen on this, you pop a Ninja on, you're probably gonna get 10-bit external. If this didn't have 10-bit external, then I think people would go nuts. So I would assume 10-bit external at least. So you can get 10-bit C200 footage. I don't know. Will it do raw output? We'll see. I'm fascinated by these new Canon cinema lines. But then again, you factor in the price and you look at the Sony A7S III, it becomes such a difficult decision. You know what I mean? It really comes down to, do you want a cinema camera or do you want a mirrorless camera? And that gap has gotten really short thanks to Sony. So we'll see. That's going to be a very fascinating fight. I don't know where I would stand on that in that realm. I really don't. I would probably have to use.
I mean, they both have really big pros and cons.
Right.
That's a very
such
interesting.
a tough thing to.
Right.
Because you're not comparing the C70 with the Sony A7S III. You know what I mean? But you'd be comparing the C50 to it.
Yes.
And it's like at that point, the Sony does seem better on paper, but you lose all the cinema features. So we'll see. That's gonna be a fun little thing to watch. And then on top of that, there's an M7 camera rumored. I guess this is supposed to be the last Canon M series camera. I'm fascinated to see it. 32 megapixel APS-C deep half 2 sensor IBIS, slightly renewed Digic LSI sensor or processor. Dual SD cards, 12 frames shooting, 4K up to 60 frames using all APS-C sensor sampling. It's saying it's overheating at 120 frames per second, 1080p. And then C-Log mode for marketing purposes. I don't know what that means. But this is supposed to be $1,600.
How fast was it? What was the speed?
12 frames per second.
Okay, so 11 frames per second on a 24 megapixel sensor. Congratulations, that's been out for 2 years.
Yeah.
I gotta shill Fuji.
I know you do.
The XT3's like that's been the hard part of all of this is like I'm happy that everyone's finally releasing an XT3, but that camera's already $1,000 now.
Yeah. I would not buy any Canon M line, but they sell like fucking hotcakes, which is crazy. And the thing that I want to know is like, why are they killing it? Because that's part of the rumor site here. Is like the second part of this rumor suggests Canon will be killing the M line at sometime in 2021. And then they're going to be replacing it with an RF APS-C line, which could be fascinating.
That makes sense to me though, because I was talking.
I would rather that. I think the M line sucks.
I agree with that.
Sucks.
I personally don't like the M line either. That's why for all my stills crop stuff, I went Fuji.
Yeah,
I think their glass is better. They actually have a glass selection. I just like their body style more. RF, that could bring me back for stills crop on Canon.
Right.
But not at that price. That's the hard part is like, okay, so now you're competing in the XT4, which by the time this camera will be out will already be cheaper yet.
Yeah, I would definitely opt to go to
but
Fuji. And
if you had
APS-C.
RFS glass or something like that, that's interesting to me too, because I was arguing this with some people or having a discussion with some other people too, that like, so the big rumor is we're going to release, because there seems like there's a bunch of people who think that crop glass on the RF mount doesn't make sense. And I don't understand that argument. And the basis of that is, so you're going to release a $6,500 camera that doesn't have native glass for it?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
that also doesn't make sense to me.
yeah, that doesn't make
The
sense.
the Cine line is a crop censored camera with a native RF mount.
Yeah, the full frame lens on it.
Right.
Yeah.
So like there's definitely an argument in my mind of like, yeah, I can see them easily putting out crop glass if
I'm
they're
wondering
releasing cine cams
why
for
are they
it.
saying that at an RF mount APS-C glass would it make sense? Why are they saying that? That doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know. I've just people have had that of just thinking, no, it's a full frame mount only, and it's just like, but the two cine cams are Super 35, which
Yeah.
Canon keeps really close to their same as their APS-C crop.
Yeah.
They're literally by definition crop RF cameras.
But I could see them shipping that with an adapter for EFS.
No, same,
or
but
EF.
like that.
But yeah, I see what you're saying.
That like I'm not saying that would be a thing right now, but like
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
down the road, that just doesn't make. It's the same thing. It's the same argument I was having with the Komodo of just like, I mean I do shoot adaptive glass. I'm shooting adaptive glass right now. I shoot adaptive glass a lot, but I also don't want to buy a camera that's
Doesn't have
the only
native.
thing you can do with it.
And you're not gonna sell APS-C priced cameras and then charge for full frame price lens. I mean, maybe the Canon would, But I don't think that just marketing wise wouldn't make much sense. You would want that. You would want to be able to axe that price down and sell RF APS-C glass as well. Yeah,
Right, because
I'm sure we'll see APS-C. I don't see why they wouldn't.
if I go the route that I think I want to and buy I'm gonna buy a C70, spend $6,500 on it. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna want a not full frame 2870 to go with it.
Yeah,
To be honest,
yeah,
like I want Canon to make an RF version of the Sigma 18 to 35 1.8.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I'd really want if I'm gonna spend that much money on that camera.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah,
Especially if it has built-in ND. Because that was the argument for the Komodo. Komodo doesn't do that, so the argument in my mind that made at least more sense is cool. You can buy the cool Canon adapter with the drop-in NDs.
You don't even need that with the C70.
Exactly. If it's got built-in ND, it's like, all right, so it's just adding a piece of metal with some electronics on it for what reason?
Yeah. Yeah, I want one right now, actually. C70. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Hopefully nothing disappointing comes out. Usually their cinema lines are legit. Usually there's really nothing wrong with them.
Same. I'm super excited for it. I'm just saying, like, usually. And I'm not gonna, no, that's not gonna make me not buy this camera if there's no glass for it. That's not what I'm saying. But
I know what you mean.
Down the line, I think it's the same with EF. There's gonna be something there because especially Canon and a couple of other companies, they really buy into the idea of, hey, glass made for crop sensors looks better on crop sensors.
Yeah.
Full frame looks better on full frame.
Yeah.
So you can't go and be like, well, we're going to start making 10 grand. We're not going to make a C500 Mark III with RF glass, but it's got a crop in it, and then say use full frame glass on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine that RFS line is going to be right down the road, which is going to be awesome. That's going to be cool. RF APS-C cameras are going to be cool. All this, it's just so much cool cameras, man. It's such a great camera market. We've been so stagnant. It's just been, in my opinion, it's really just been Sony and then the reintroduction of Fuji. I've never really been impressed by what Panasonic has been doing, just because I personally think you need autofocus in a modern camera. But I'm wrong there, because a lot of people love Panasonic, a lot of the video shooters. So it's
I mean, I like some of what they do. I don't think I can invest that much money into it personally.
I'm way more excited about
I want to.
Without autofocus, I'm way more excited in what Blackmagic is doing. And that's why the Panasonic stuff has just been like, yeah, that's cool, but you can get a Blackmagic for a quarter of the price, and you get a much better dynamic range.
An S1H full frame.
Yeah, that's true. But then it doesn't fucking autofocus. It's so frustrating.
True.
I'd much rather than not even have IBIS
at that price range. That's your cheap full frame Blackmagic, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a fucking crazy market. All right, so let's stream tomorrow whenever this Panda thing goes live. And then there's the GoPro as well, which I know a lot of people hate GoPro. I love GoPro. I love my GoPro. I don't use it as much as I want to, but I'm curious to see what this new GoPro 9 looks like. Having a screen on the front's pretty cool. I like the Instax cameras. I like all the action cams. I'm an action cam junkie. It's nice when you're traveling and you want something really light and you take footage on it and you're really just only ever going to view like that travel footage on your phone anyway. It's nice. It does have a really good image quality, especially that HEVC sensor or codec. All right, that's it for the show. New Sony adapter. What is this? Sony.
Oh, that's right. They released a new version of their E to A mount.
Interesting.
And it sounds cooler than it is. I was excited and then saddened. Basically, it also has an actual stepping motor in it. So for glass that doesn't have a motor in it.
Right.
But it only works on the A7 R4 and the A6600.
Okay.
For the adding the
available.
autofocus motor to lenses that don't have it. The rest of it works on all of them, but that specific feature is only on those two cameras for some reason.
And it says here autofocus not available during movies.
Yeah.
Okay, so that kind of sucks then.
But yeah, like that. got really excited and then let down because that like there's some really decent A mount glass that you can pick up super cheap because no one uses it anymore. And if they actually like that was still the
That's
dream.
good
It's
they made
like
an
just
amount
make
for
a
it.
good adapter that works in with autofocus and movie mode.
Yeah.
Because like there's a lot there's actually a pretty decent amount of like really dirt cheap decent A class.
Interesting. All right, that's it for the show. Thank you guys for tuning in every Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on No Life Digital. Make sure you head over to our Twitter and our website, nolife.digital, and our Twitter at nolifedigital. And we'll catch you guys next week. And, oh, no, actually, we're going to catch you guys tomorrow for the stream. And then we'll catch you guys next week. All right, peace.